A single man can be beaten, but a team can become invincible. If you are in a team, run a team, stick around to the end to find out our best advice to how you can create and build the strongest team to ensure that you hit the goals and find the success that you and your team are striving towards. We started out with a team of 4 people. We are now up to a team of 15 who over the last 5 years have turned over 25 million pounds in turnover. And if you stick around to the end, you'll be able to find out how you can do the same too. First things first, when it comes to building a team, let's go back to the very beginning when we're at that initial interview process and you are screening for candidates to actually join your business. And one of the best things that we've ever done was making that interview process as difficult as possible to weed out the chuff, to weed out the wheat from the chuff rather, so we can be 100% certain that the people that are coming in for interviews and the people that we're spending our time on actually have put some work in. We've created some barriers so that they're not just submitting a CV or an application to join our team. We've created some friction so that we know that they're serious about wanting to join our company, our team, and not just someone that's gone on Indeed and just sent over a quick CV in 2 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. So with that, we've got the voicemail, which was already the new revelation of being able to find those people. Now, out of, say, 100 applications, it's about 10%. So you get about 10 voicemails. And it depends from role to role. You'd kind of expect that the higher value roles, or not higher value, but the better paid jobs or roles, those would be more likely to send in the voicemails. But no, it's actually the other way around. It's actually the roles that are, say, warehouse operatives that are more likely to send those in, which is a bit telling. I don't know the full reasons as to why that is, but it's an observation. But from that point on, what we like to try and do is we get those, say it was the 100, and then we've got the 10 people. We then want to have a group interview with those 10. We'll see who's late, how they've come dressed, if they're making notes, and then from the 10, we whittle them down to about 2 or 3. And then only then we really look at the CV and say, well, they're good. They got the qualifications in this. And from that point, we can make a decision on bringing, say, some of the people in and then employing that particular person or a couple of people, depending on how many we needed that role. But we're constantly thinking of ways of improving that, like introducing the disc reviews as well. So it might be that, before application, like you're saying, adding a few barriers, that before you come to an interview, we want you to complete this disc review and submit it. And that might then get down even more people. But again, you're just getting the absolute best, the cherry on topped employee that you want in your team, because it's all good and well building a team, but you've got to build up the right people that, again, are going to fit within the same culture and vision of the company that you've got. And for us, those sorts of people that are going to be doing that are the type of people that we want.
It's honestly one of the biggest things that most employers skip out on is they just rush through this interview process and they just get anybody into the team without realizing the simple fact that one person in a team can drive down the performance of everybody that they're surrounded by. You're only as good as the worst member of your team. Simple as that. If you've got one person in that you've rushed as a quick hire just to get through the door, and there is this mentality that we always got told by our coach, which is hire slow and fire fast. Now, obviously, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, and sometimes you need to get somebody in quickly as a replacement, for example. But when you're building a team, the importance of doing something like a disc review with that individual when they start is you need to understand intrinsically who they are as people. Because if you've got a team of high Ds, bringing another one in might really rock the apple cart. Or if you need someone for a leadership position who is potentially quite low on the D scale, they might not be influential enough or demanding enough to actually be able to give the team what they need. So you've got someone that's actually really very conscientious and calm, but you need someone that's leading from the front, screaming and sort of, I say screaming, but being loud, being out there, being extroverted, setting the standards and motivating and rallying the troops. But if they're not hitting that D and I on the DISC review, straight away, you've brought someone in that's not going to be able to do the job. And that's not their fault. That's your fault for being a bad leader and not knowing what it takes to build a good team. And so you should always check and spend most of the time when it comes to building a team at the interview process, at that pre-screening process, to understand that if you just bring people in willy-nilly, as they say, to just get them into the team as a quick hire and just trust what people put on their pen and paper with a CV and say, this is what I've done and who I am, you're going to end up with a really toxic, bad team straight away.
Yeah. And there's resentment that then creeps in. But with the DISC, you've got the dominance, you've got the influence, you've got the conscientiousness, and then you've got the steadiness. So it's finding the right fit for the right role. So, in sales, using something like car sales, you're going to want someone that's quite dominant in car sales because that's just the type of person that it requires. But at that same car dealership, behind the scenes in admin, you're not going to want someone really dominant in the middle of like admin because they're just going to be going, oh, well, I've done that and I've done this. What else am I doing now? Like, you're not giving me the information. You're not selling enough cars. And it's just not the right temperament that you want within that role. So again, like you're saying, it's key that when you're building the team that you get the right people for the right role. And we've found that we've improved our process as we've gone along, but it didn't start out perfect, which you can see as long as you learn from what you're doing, it makes a massive difference.
100%. And you should always be hiring. Tip for everybody out there, you should always be looking to add to your team. No team is ever short of good people. So if you can find good people in whatever walk of life, whether they've applied, whether that you actively sort them out, that's something that most people unfortunately overlook. They might see someone that's working for a competitor, or they might find someone on LinkedIn, they might find someone online and think they would be a great fit for my business. Oh, they've already got a job though. And they might hate their job, but they don't know, or you might be able to inspire them or influence them to leave their current job and come and join them. Whether it's sort of Steve Jobs, I remember that if there's a great film with him, there's a few of them where, by all accounts, he was tossed out of Apple. And then they brought him back after he'd gone to spend some time at Disney, I believe it was. And so he completely changed his mind on how he saw business, how he saw people, and how he ran a team. And they brought him back, but they could have easily said, oh, well, I'm sure they poached the guy from Pepsi as well. I'm sure they like the marketing director from Pepsi. And that's how in these larger positions, they get headhunted because there are people that are fit for the role. And they don't just wait for somebody that's got out of work or that's out of a job or that's looking for a new job and wait for a CV to come on Indeed. They actively go and pursue them because the best people out there are the ones that are already employed. So again, a great tip is if you found someone like that, find a way to create your offer so compelling and make your team and business sound so compelling with the vision and the mission that you're on as a team that people really far up within their own respective careers, or even they might be working for a Pepsi, they might be working for an Apple, a Google. And if you can get them to come and work with you by inspiring them and influencing them, what an impact that would make to your team.
Funny enough, you say that. I watched recently the Blackberry film, which was a really good film as a watch. And as part of that, the guy that they brought on who ended up buying shares and getting into the company, he went round to Google, he went to Microsoft, he went to I think it was like IBM, I think, and some of these massive companies at the time, and still are today, and pretty much just bribed some of their best staff and said, look, I'll give you $1 million in stock options if you just come and join our BlackBerry team. And they're like, all right then. But then BlackBerry became one of those companies where they had 50% market share of the phones because they had the right team. And yeah, it might have needed a bit of bribery, but if you know and see the right people, don't let them go. You've got to try and keep hold of those people, which is another important thing as well, which is when you've got the team, it's keeping hold of them.
Like I said at the start, one man can be beaten, one individual can be beaten, but a team can become invincible. They can take over the world. The right team can take over the world. The Great British Empire pretty much took over the world at one point, which was a team that was founded with a set of laws, set of legislation, set of ideologies that allowed us to become one of the biggest empires, or the biggest empire to ever roam the earth. And that's a team. It's a big team, but that is what can happen when you've got a team that is so strong together. You can literally take over the world. Now, I'm not saying we're planning evil domination here, but we
Dr. Evil.
Exactly. We certainly want to be creating a team with the mindset that they can do anything, be anything, and achieve anything through having like-minded people who you are all on the same vision, share the same vision, you're on the same mission, and you're all going to get there together. So one of the most important things, certainly from day one, when you're taking people into your business, is setting some immediate standards and some non-negotiables. We just spent the weekend with Andy Elliott and his team, went all the way to Arizona, saw how he built his team and what he did to onboard people into his business. And he has a set of core values, and that is founded by God, fitness, love of the family, and this achievement or desire for success. And anybody that comes into his business, now he says they're his non-negotiables. So he doesn't have to hire people. And if you don't tick those values that he shares and he holds in high regard for his business, you aren't going to get a job there. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's not a prejudice to say, this is what I want in my team. These are my non-negotiables. I want you to be involved in fitness. I want you to be healthy. I want you to have a faith or a belief in God. I want you to have a strong family bond or family connection. And I want you to have this desire and hunger for success. And the way he does it, he'll set it out and almost make them sign a contract. Now, it's not a legally binding contract, but it's a personal contract between two people, an employee and employer, or a boss, a colleague, whatever you want to call it. And he will use that to say, you've been working with me for a year, you've been working with me for a month, sometimes even, I would imagine it happens. You have got in black and white here a statement that you have promised me, and most importantly, promised yourself and the team, that you are going to uphold these values, and you've fallen short. Get out. Because I'm not having people lower the standards of my team. It's not happening. And if you don't like it, go and work somewhere else. You promised me when you first joined here that you would uphold these standards, and you've failed. So my tolerance is zero. And you see it in a team. There needs to be discipline and there needs to be repercussions, because without it, people know that they can take the piss. And unfortunately, again, correlating this to the general society these days, whether it's school, whether it's work, whether it's a country as a whole, is discipline and this lack of deterrent for people nowadays, where standards slip and people just shrug the shoulders and go, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have the standards fall. You're allowed to give up on yourself. You're allowed to let yourself down. You're allowed to let your family down. Oh, if you're stressed, that's fine. Whereas it's creating this toxic mentality and this toxic mindset of it's creating this mindset of just complete mediocrity, because it does take sacrifice. It does take standards. Any team that you see, or any individual even that you see that has success or that's achieved anything great in their life, they have upheld a set of standards that they have put onto themselves, those around them, their coaches, the team, the people around them that they love and care about, to uphold those standards. So you need to do that with every single person you bring into the team. Set the standards from day one and do not let them slip.
The thing is as well, because if you do let them slip, and say you're having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, whatever it might be, on the day that you've employed that person, and all the years prior, you've not let the standards slip and you've stuck to those standards all the time, unequivocally, then you've employed this new person, you're having a bad day, bad week, bad month, whatever it might be, and they do slip for them, the rest of the team's going to look at it and go, hang on a minute, he's like leaving his like rubbish all over the place. He's not cleaning up his mugs. He's not. But I always get a bollocking for that. So what's going on there? And when the standards slip for one person at one time, everyone else can then feel a bit, oh well, that's not fair. He didn't do it. And then you kind of get this tiering system of the standards just overall come down, I suppose, because they look at it and go, well, okay, well, I'm not going to bother doing that anymore. And then the minute you try and bring the standards back up again, you're going to go, well, I don't want you to do that. And you're like, well, you didn't let him do that. And it just creates this whole mess that you've just created because you've not held the standards that you set in the first place.
It's like that thing with reputation, is it? And you do end up almost having a reputation to uphold the standards, where everybody knows a reputation takes years to build and minutes to destroy. And that is the same thing with this mindset. It will take years to build it up. And then if you allow it, it can just be destroyed in minutes. So it's really important. But something that is a slight caveat to it is not only should you be setting the standards for the person that would be joining the team as you're building it, make sure that you're telling them that here are the standards that I'm going to uphold. I'm not just bringing you into the team and expecting you to do this. This is what I'll do for you. This is the value that I will bring. This is how I will conduct myself as a leader, rather than just telling you to do everything. I'm actually going to give you the same level of respect and hold myself to the same level of account, rather than just being a dictator at the top, dishing out orders that I'm not willing to also uphold myself. I think that is really, really important.
This is where it's having a vision. And if the business has got a vision and saying we're currently here, we're going there, and then getting everyone to buy into that vision, that's when everyone feels like they've got a sense of understanding and where they're going, what's expected. And then if you've managed to build the team up to your not level, but if you've built the team around you and your values and your culture and everything, everyone's singing off the same hymn sheet, it's infectious that when the new person comes in, they're kind of it's not just you that has to uphold that or even feel like they are upholding it. It's the actual team that are already there that are kind of going, oh, well, say they were messy and you've set the standards that we don't leave things around. Everything's got to be clean. If someone comes in and doesn't do that, you're not even as the business owner, the one that has to check them. It's someone else that might say, oh, can't do that here. We all got to make sure we keep things clean. And then they go, oh, okay, yeah, no worries. I'll make sure I do the same. So it's creating the standards, which is important, and then also having the vision of where you're going.
Culture, that's the one that it sums it up for us, and it's something that we're trying to actively improve within our business. And again, thanks to our coaching and our time with Andy Elliott and the people that we work with our mentors and the leaders and people that we see and take inspiration from, we've seen that the reality is, without having a culture in a team, you are destined to fail, because you need to have this understanding that you are one person and your team are responsible for the real results within that business. The business will not work without the team. And so the number one asset in any business, without fail, it's not even a close second, is the team, the competency of the team, the character of the team, the ability of the team, because they are the ones that are upholding the vision and the mission of that business. And you all need to be aligned on what that vision and mission is. And the one thing that we took away is that everybody has their own visions and their own missions that they want to pursue in their lives. So as a business, you need to make sure that your vision is big enough to have their visions involved in it as well, so that you can all go on this mission together and actually help each other tick off these goals as they go through life and find success. Because the worst thing you can do is put your vision above other people's and what you see as success, and then have that selfish mindset, because you're never going to get the best people in the world or even the best people in your area wanting to come and work in your team, because why the hell would they, when they've got other people and other opportunities that they can go to and work for them and work for someone that cares about what they want outside of work and in work, and make sure that you're all on this journey together, that you're all helping each other, find success in life, but inside and outside of work, rather than just making or placing all the expectation on somebody that comes into work with you and joins your team, and have this mindset where it's like, well, I'm paying you a salary, so do as I say, and I don't care about anything else. I'm paying you, so you'll do as you're told. That's the worst, the most toxic thing you can do, because if you want to incentivize your team, the best thing that you can do is make sure that you understand what their goals are, understand what their vision is, and encompass it into your company and help them achieve it, because they will be motivated 900 times more than just money if you're also helping them meet the needs and their goals in life outside of work, and so obviously in work as well. But that's a massive one for us.
And it's the same element of that as well, is the environment been extremely important. You know, not all of us can afford to create environments like there is at Google, where we've got like nap pods and like, you know, ping pong tables here and this here and that there, and cafes and free food and all this sort of stuff. But you can try and create the best environment you possibly can with the space that you've got, because everything can do with a lick of paint, and everything can do with, I mean, we've got a pool table which doubles up as a, you know, as a ping pong table or table tennis. But it's really important to have sort of some of these things there sometimes, because it creates an environment that people want to work in, rather than just somewhere that they have to work in. And if they feel like they want to go to work, and there's these little niceties where it's team bonding for one. And I mean, that pool table that we've got, the team play with each other every now and again, where it's, you know, maybe even a quick 5 minutes throughout the day. But it's nice, they get on, there's a bit of camaraderie, the bit of competitiveness, you know, it creates an environment of friendship, and that somewhere that people want to work rather than have to work.
One of the biggest things that I would suggest that any team should be doing, in fact, they must be doing, is different activities outside of work. Now, with Andy Elliott, with spending time with him and his team, they obviously share this value of fitness and health and well-being. And because of that, they then do workouts together all the time. We got involved, and at 5 a.m, we were up out of bed, showered, ready, got to the place where we needed to go, 6 a.m. And it was a 2-mile run, up a hill, down a hill, circuit training, high interval intensity training, absolutely high intensity interval training, rather. I would kill myself.
Devastating
I've done that many of them now throughout my life. I need to be getting that right. But it's absolutely vile. But his team are all there sucking it up. They're all taking that pain, sweating it out, getting a good workout in to start the day off. And that's because it's embedded into his values, the team's values. And so they build up that relationship with each other, because they're going through those hard times together. They're all sharing the pain of that vile workout in 30-degree heat outside. It's horrible, but they're all doing it together. So they have each other's backs, helping each other, motivate each other, go on. So make sure that you're doing team building experiences outside of work. Don't just keep it inside. But this is something that we've got to reflect on, and something that we'll do as we move forward and improve our team and our leadership. It's thinking that, you know, so many teams and so many people nowadays, they wouldn't even want to go out and have a beer with the people that they work with. They wouldn't even want to be seen dead with any of their colleagues outside of work. So if you're a leader, or if you're wanting to be part of a successful team, how can you ever expect to get results if the people that you work with you don't even like, and you have no intention or no inclination to want to spend any time with each other outside of work, and you haven't got that mindset? So realistically, you hate the people you work with, but then you're being asked to get the most out of your work on a daily basis by your management and the people that are above you, saying, I expect this, I expect that, but you don't even like them.
I mean, it's where we've got a lot of improvement to make. I mean, we always thought we were okay, but when we've been to Andy Elliott and we've seen what that really looks like on the hyper end of the scale, it's like hits you in the face, and you're like, bloody hell, Jesus! Like, everyone we spoke to was, oh yeah, I love this, love working here, and love the like, oh yeah, Andy. Like, I mean, he brought people on stage where he was saying, someone coming on board on the team, and they had problems at home and problems here, and he's working with them himself through those things. And when you've done something like that for someone, you can literally see the absolute complete admiration for the man, because he's helped them get through something that's, not even their own family were doing. And it's like you got nothing but complete admiration, exactly, again. And he kind of says to his staff, like, keep looking for jobs, or if you get, I'm not doing my job properly if you're not constantly getting job offers through the post or through online or whatever it might be, because I've made you, or you've kind of made yourself, in the way that he would say it, the best version of you that so many other people want to employ you. But because you're so integrated with our team, you wouldn't even leave if they were to pay you more money, because you just love where you work that much. And that's the goal.
100%. It comes down to just caring more about them than yourself. So another big thing that you can do if you're a leader, or if you've got a team, to build the best team, is just genuinely care about the people within your team more. And he literally had one of his employees name his son. He added their middle name was Elliot. And it's like, that is one of the biggest, in fact, I'd say it is the most genuine level of affection that you could show someone, naming the most important thing you'll ever do, which is have children, and naming it after your boss. Now imagine the level of care and love that you must have for someone that by all accounts is your boss, and you name your child after them. That is huge, and the biggest show of affection that I can think of. So the only way that that's ever done is through his sheer love and care for the actual team that he's got. So to build a great team, make sure that you're actively asking them about, you need to, and show, don't do it. It can't be fake. It needs to be real, but make sure you know about their wives, about their husbands, about their family, about their kids, about their hobbies, who they are as people, and care. And when it becomes their birthday, or on little accolades that they achieve both in work and outside of work, whether they've been with you a year, what's their favourite drink? What's their favourite snack, favourite takeaway, favourite restaurant? Get them a voucher for it. Say, congratulations, thank you so much for you've worked with us for a year. I really appreciate everything that you've done. It's not just take. It's giving back and having this fair exchange of creating this care and love and relationship for each other, and saying, I've taken the time to understand you and listen as to who you are, what you love, what you enjoy, and who your children are, who your wife is, what they like as well. And to really create this connection between the team and the management and the leaders and the people within it and the people that make it all work, you have to go above and beyond. And that above and beyond is understanding who they are, caring selflessly, and then giving back and using those pieces of information that you've learned about the team. And just to quickly translate that over, it also works really well in sales, because it's all about creating relationships. And if you have clients in sales that you're working with on a daily basis, if you can lean on who they are as people, you see so much more results by caring about who they are rather than what they do. Trust me, it'll be the best thing you ever do, and it will help you to build the best team as well as the best client list that you'll ever have. And it just takes that little bit more care and attention.
I mean, one of the best things that we've done recently, there was someone that's joined our team, and he was doing an excellent job. And normally probation, we kind of have about 3 months. But with this individual, he was doing such a good job and just ticking all the boxes, culture, vision, everything. He's just doing a phenomenal job after such a short period of time. So 2 months. It was his daughter's birthday, and we've kind of got him a voucher for his daughter. And it's like you see their face light up. And it makes you feel good about yourself as well. So it is selfish to a degree, but then they're also extremely happy, and they're going, oh God, I can't believe it. I've never had this in a job before. And then they don't even see it as a job. It's kind of just seen as somewhere they love to go, where it just so happens to be the place that they're earning money for the things that they're doing.
Definitely, and it's just important just to care about people, and that's where we've again lost this sense of community as well. People don't even know who their neighbours are anymore. People have just stopped caring, stopped giving a shit about who they work with, the team, the people around them, even strangers nowadays. Everyone's so hateful towards each other, and it is such a shame. But building a good team, again, one of the biggest ones. Now we've talked about all these different things that you can be doing. One of the things that you definitely need to be doing each and every day, week, month, year, every year is creating whether it's a performance review, creating a sheet, a set of standards, set of values with each individual member of the team. And as a leader, making sure that you are having consistent reviews with them and seeing, are they on track? The goals that they've set themselves, the standards that they've set themselves, are you hitting them daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? And don't just talk about it at the end of a year. Oh, it's been 12 months, I'll have my review. If you are a leader, or if you have a team and you don't sit down with your team every week or every month and you wait till the annual review to sit down with a member of your team, you are shit at what you do and you are not ticking the box that you should be ticking as a leader. And to be honest, you should probably outsource that role to somebody else.
Sack yourself.
Fix the fuck up, because it's really, really important that you as a leader and to build a good team are inspiring and influencing the team that are working with you, making sure that you understand what their goals are outside of work, goals are inside of work, and then tracking them, breaking them down each week and seeing if they're on track. Because again, and the stories that we heard, and soon there'll be stories that we're actively a part of more so, and we've been a part of a few, but I want to be a part of more, is that somebody he really wanted to buy a house and he couldn't do it. He was in debt. It was something like $50,000, and this is what Andy had said he'd done. So he'd broken down the debt into his cash, into what he earns each month, what he's got in leftovers at the end of all of his expenses and what's left. And so they put a plan in place, a financial plan in place to help their employee get out of debt. And each week they would hold him to account. They would go to the cash machine or the ATM together each week, withdraw the cash, put it aside and whittle down this debt. And after 12 months, the guy was debt free. And can you imagine, this person now thinks of their new employers less of an employer and more of a best friend or guardian angel. You've saved my life. I was £40,000 in debt and now I'm debt free. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I love my job. I love the people I work with. I've got better relationships at home now because I'm now debt free and I'm indebted now to you and you're making me a better person. So if they get a better job offer from someone, they're going to go, fuck off. Putting it bluntly, I'm not interested. I'm literally the happiest I've ever been here and I'm never going to change that. And then also, do you think that they're going to be coming into work on a Monday and going, oh, it's Monday. I wish I wasn't here. I hate it here. I hate my job. I hate my career. And then thinking, right, I'm going to go and hit targets and hit goals. They're just going to be thinking, I can't wait for today to finish. Can't wait. Second the clock strikes 5, 5:30, 6, whatever the time it is. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm not staying over. I'm clock watching. I'm having as many piss breaks as I can throughout the day. I'm taking
fags.
Yeah, I'm smoking. I never smoked before, but I hate it that much here. I've now started smoking so I can go and have 10 minutes outside. And you expect results out of those people. You expect to build a strong team when you have people within the business who you've got zero care and attention for, who then will reciprocate that back to you. Why would they give a shit about your business? Why would they give a shit about your goals and your targets and your successes if you can't be bothered to understand what theirs are?
And it's been a big epiphany where we've been there and just seen complete devotion to a man that is their, like I say, their guardian, their rock, their person that they can look up to, be inspired by. And, you know, it's massively something that I know we're both taking away. We can't wait to get started again. and learn. But this is it. It's when the team sees that that's what we're doing as well, and they see that we've changed and made, adjustments to try and be better. They go, they've tried. I'm going to try and make a little adjustment myself as well, and I'm going to try and do this as well. And you lead by example. You lead by the front, and if you're seen to be doing those things, then you're going to create an even better team. It's like, going back to medieval times. Probably some of the best leaders are the ones that won all the battles, are the ones where the king was at the front of the line, charging with the soldiers, and it's a morale boost rather than shouting from the back, going, "Get them, lads!"
Yeah, Henry V, Battle of Agincourt is a good one.
Yeah, there you go, exactly.
It's a great film, actually. The King, Timothy Chalamet, great film. But again, it echoes the point. One of the things that if you've now already got a team, you need to be resonating not only of yourself as a leader, but if you're a part of the team, make sure that you're now holding everybody to a higher standard. Think about what we've done. Think about the benefits of having a strong team, because a team can move a mountain. A team can become invincible. But if you've got a bad team, you are not only affecting yourself, you're affecting those around you. And one of the things I saw Stephen Bartlett talk about just quickly was that he did this fun exercise of putting his entire team into a hat, randomly names, pull one out each time. And he'd pull a name out, John, and he'd go, right, if everybody shared John's mindset and everybody shared John's team working ability, would the culture or business be more successful, less successful, or would it stay the same? And if it's less successful, get rid of John, get rid of him. I don't care whether he's been there 10 years, 5 years, it doesn't matter. He needs to go. I don't care if there's a redundancy package. You need to get rid of these people, because these people are destroying your business. They're ruining it for the rest of them. And don't allow for this toxic mindset within a business, because it will ruin you. We've found it in our business. We're still finding it, and we've got some changes to make. But I think it's a really good exercise to do, is putting your name in a hat, or putting all your company names in a hat, and making sure that you are elevating the standards of the team, and not allowing one individual or multiple individuals to bring your entire team down, because genuinely you are only as good as your worst player. And if you're allowing that worst player to stay and infect the minds of the rest of the team, it's a bad day at the office.
Well, the funny thought experiment that's kind of going on at the minute is that whole, and it's a bit of a sidetrack, but kind of going back to your original point, where it's one gorilla versus like 100 human men, and it's like, who would win? And it's, if you've got a team of people that are just going to run at that gorilla because there's no direction, they are 100% losing that battle 100% of the time. If you've got a team of 100 people that are completely on the same wavelength, they know they're hardworking, they're Andy Elliott's team, they're in the gym, they might have a fighting chance. Granted, it's probably still very low, but there's a much higher chance of success if everyone's working in the same direction within that team, on the same page, rather than, like say, some sort of scattergun approach of just one-man army.
Well, again, it does echo the point, and just to kind of confirm what you were saying, like you said, yeah, a team of 100 men would always beat a single gorilla every single time, provided that team of 100 men can work together, create a team, create a strategy, create an actual plan to beat this gorilla. And we already have beat the gorillas, because otherwise the gorillas would be the dominant species in the world, and they're not. We are, because we got brains, because we formed tribes, we worked together, created teams, and from there we've been able to literally rule the world as a human species through teamwork and through building this team. So I think that's probably it from us.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. Importance of building a team. Everybody is a part of a team. Your family at home is a team. Your colleagues at work are a team. Everybody has a team around them. And if you are part of a toxic team, you are only going to be affected and brought down to the worst player within that team. And you are directly responsible for calling people out on the shit that they are putting in or putting out into the universe each and every day. So if you're a part of a team, make note of everything that we've said today. Even if you are not the leader of that team, you are directly responsible as being a member of the team to upholding or improving the standards. And I can guarantee you that if you implement the things that we've talked about today by caring about those around you, wanting the best for people, and trying to uphold a set of standards that you have given, you will see massive success, not only in your life, in those around you as well, which is the most important thing. Because, as I said, a man on his own can be beaten, but a team can become invincible. So I appreciate everybody's time for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share the video with people that are part of a team that can benefit from this video as well. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks very much.